YouTube family, how you guys doing? Hope you're all doing well. So today's the day that we build a new pedal board. Let me show you what we're working with. So this is my pedal board that I've had for the last probably 8 to 10 years. It's small, super simple and compact, and works great. I don't have a power block or anything like that on it. I have an 8-plug daisy chain. I connect to my iSpot power supply, and that's it. No noise, no weird stuff going on. It's been a fantastic pedal. I got a micro polytune. I got a mini wah, Clarksdale overdrive for some drive, Tumnus Deluxe for some higher gain sounds, flashback delay, spark booster for some lead breaks, and an SP compressor. So the SP is always on. Just set on low, and the flashback mini delay is usually always on, and you know, the tuner I only use to tune, so I'm really only using 4 pedals. The wah I use very periodically, just for certain songs, and the Clarksdale is almost always on. I like having a little bit of grit in my tone, and I use the Tumnus for higher gain stuff, so off and on. And then the only pedal I use regularly really is the Spark. For any lead breaks, I just jump on the Spark booster just to, you know, jump me up a notch. But now I want to add all this stuff to my pedal board. So both my Quilter amps, I'm going to add a reverb pedal. My Quilters do have reverb, but in the off times that I will use my Fender Pro Junior, it doesn't have a reverb, and sometimes we play gigs where the amps are supplied, like the back line is supplied, and there's not always a reverb, and I kind of like having that lushness in the tone there. So I want to add the reverb. I want to add my my Fromel modded equalizer pedal, and then I'm going to add this brand new JHS Active ABY and a JHF Active splitter, possibly, maybe not the splitter, but so definitely need this to run both my Quilter amps. If you've seen my other video of when I just got that ABY, it's awesome. It works great. So obviously I'm going to need more real estate. So, with the magic of YouTube, abracadabra, boom, just like that. So, these are both pedal train pedal boards. This one's obviously like a 2-tier, so my plan is to put my amps on the top, maybe have a wireless transmitter unit on the left, and then have my pedals the same way they are there, just with adding a few extra. And I do have this as well. It's a power supply brick with a ton of extra connection cables, its own power supply, but I think I'll probably just keep using my iSpot because that thing has been bulletproof for all the years I've had it. And I'll keep the included one as a spare, and you know, a bunch of extra patch cables. So now is to get all of this stuff transferred over here and all of this stuff integrated on the board for it to be a quick, simple setup and no fuss. Because I hate, you know, having to connect a bunch of cables and doing a bunch of stuff. And so I like simple and efficient and a quick setup and a quick teardown. So let's rock. First, we strip the old pedal board like so. And now we have everything kind of just jumbled up. So everything should kind of look like this when it's done. So this is just the first draft. Okay, so I think it'll probably kind of look like this. So the plan is to have the Bose wireless guitar transmitter that I ordered up here in this area. And then from there, it'll go into my tuner. Directly out of the tuner, it'll go into the ABY box. One side of the ABY box will go back to the EQ, then to the compressor, then down here to the wah, and then the Clarksdale, and then the tumness, then back up to the reverb and the delay, and then finally the spark into the Quilter Super Block UK, and then the other side of the ABY will simply go straight into the Quilter Super Block US. Now the reason I do it this way is because these are the pedals that I would actually use off and on all night, whereas these pretty much stay on all the time. If I have delay, it's just going to be in the background, just a slap back. Reverb, same thing, it's going to be on. Compressor's going to be on all the time. EQ is going to be on or off, and a tuner I'll only use, you know, periodically throughout the night. And then the ABY would be nice to access, because sometimes I could bypass one amp altogether, but I don't think I'll be doing that. So that's kind of the issue. I was thinking I would try to use the other splitter box from JHS to split the compressor, so I'd have the compressor in both amps. But I need two inputs on either the ABY box or the splitter box to be able to do that, and I don't have that, so that's not going to work. But maybe I can use the ABY box after the compressor. Anyway, we'll have to experiment and see how this stuff is going to all come together. Okay, well, don't mind the mess of cables. Nothing's attached. It's just all connected. I have yet to test it. I'm going to do that with you guys watching. I'm going to see if this works. Oh, right. But before I strum a chord, so on this power supply, there are 7 inputs that are 100 milliamps. And most of these pedals only take like 70 to 80 milliamps, so it's all kinds. But then the last one here, the number 8, is a 500 milliamp output, and which is good because I need to connect 3 pedals to that one output because I don't have enough single inputs in this brick. So I have the delay. Right now I have the delay, the reverb, and the compressor connected into that one output. So it's all kinds of power to run those 3 pedals off the one. And the other cool thing about this is it has a switch here. And if I flick the switch, every channel is lit up. So if there's a problem or a connection issue, one of these lights will go out, and then I know where to go to fix it. So everything seems to be powered on. The amps are on standby, so let's give this a try. Alright, so the top cab is the clean cab. So that sounds like this. And the bottom cab is the dirty cab, sounds like this. Both cabs together sound like this. Throw some compressor on. And then when I throw any of these pedals on, it's only going to affect the bottom cab. Some high gain. Sorry. Boost. Pedals effective. Well, that's where we are right now. So now I gotta tidy all this up and maybe try a few more things first, and I'll show you the final product. Alright guys, well, here's the final product, all done. Took me a while because I had to build some custom cables to reach, the splitter to the clean amp, and then from the end of my chain to the dirty amp up top. So yeah, so what we got going on here is pretty much like I told you earlier. So I got the guitar signal going into the polytune into the equalizer into the compressor. From the compressor I go into the ABY box, and then out of the ABY box straight to the clean amp, and then on the other side of the ABY box I go into the wah, Clarksdale, Tumnus, up to the reverb, the flashback, and then back down to the spark, which is down to the dirty amp. So my original pedal setup is unchanged. It's still guitar into, all these pedals to the dirty amp, to the speaker, but now I have the addition of the compressor only attached to this clean amp, and my cabs will be as follows. So I'll have a 10-inch cab at the top for punch for my dirty sound, and then the big full 12-inch at the bottom for the clean sound. And yeah, that's it. I'll unplug some of these cables and I'll show you the underneath of the pedal board. All right, I just put the case there so I can flip the pedal board over on the case. So it turned out pretty good. It's nice and tidy. Pedals are all nicely secured. So here's what it looks like underneath. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty snug. So I got the power supply velcroed to the under side of the frame, plus I have it zip tied in place, and then I have all my adapters. I got some select wires zip tied together so they're not in the way, and some of the connection cables are zip tied as well. And yeah, it turned out super great, really nice and neat, easy to connect. And so now instead of running longer guitar cable from my pedals all the way to my amp, now they're already connected, so I need longer speaker cables, which I already had. So it really doesn't change anything. So that's it, guys. That's the new pedal setup. I'll give you a little sound demo right now. All right, so there's a view like I would have when I'm looking at the pedal board. So here is my clean amp, and notice how quiet everything is. Guitar's plugged in, there's like no noise. This is awesome. All right, so clean amp. Dirty amp. Not extremely dirty. Both amps together. of on the dirty side. The clean still cuts through a bit. And then some heavy grit. It's still clean in the background. I know it won't come through on the cell phone, but in a mix in 2 separate channels from my lines out, those will be cool. So here's just the high gain. And here's the high gain with the clean. It's not as gainy because it cleans up, right? Here is just the overdrive pedal. A little more bass. Now with the clean amp. So clean and dirty amps together. Stack the drives. Without the clean amp. So lots of versatility there, right? It's just going to be fun. And that's her. That is the new system. Hope you like it. It was fun, and I'm happy to share with you guys. If you have any questions, shoot. If you have any suggestions on how to improve this whole setup, let me know. Always looking for ways to get better. See you guys. Take care. God bless, and keep rocking.